One of my personal favorite Acuras of all time is the 2007 Acura TL Type S. Not only did it look outstanding for the time that it was released, but it was the performance Acura that everybody appreciated. Sadly enough, Acura got rid of it in 2008, but now, 13 years later, the Type S is back. My name is Omar, and today, I'm test driving the 2021 Acura TLX Type S. This thing is awesome. So usually I'll save my driving impressions until the end of my video, but I think this deserves some right off the bat. If you were a fan of the older TL Type S, then you'll absolutely love the new TLX Type S. The 355 horsepower V6 under the hood gives this thing really strong acceleration. 0 to 60 comes in the high 4-second range. Handling wise, it's also very impressive. It uses Acura's torque vectoring super handling all-wheel drive system, which not only helps it put down power properly, it also helps it handle really well. Wow. Not to mention, Acura has also made updates to the double wishbone front and the multi-link independent rear suspension. According to Acura, the platform for the new TLX was specifically designed with the performance TLX Type S in mind. It also sounds really nice. This isn't fake engine noise piped in through the speakers. This is real induction noise, and it sounds amazing. Even though Acura is really talking up the track game here, and you can take it to the track if you want, but this is more of a performance road sedan. That said, the Acura TLX Type S really competes with the likes of the Audi S4, the BMW M340i, and the Mercedes-AMG C43, but the big question is, does it do that well? Well, let's find out. Let me give you a quick tour of the new Acura TLX Type S, and then I'll continue giving you my driving impressions, and I'll give you my opinion on whether or not if you should buy this over the competition. Make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit like. All right, let's do this. Now, I've already tested the Acura TLX A-Spec, so a lot of the cool and interesting things about the new TLX I've pointed out in that review, so I'll link that in the description below so you can check it out. But there are two specific things that I want to point out about the Type S. First up, and unfortunately the new Type S does not have launch control. I think this would have been a perfect opportunity for Acura to really go all out and offer launch control, but you don't have it here. All right, so in my review of the TLX A-Spec and the new MDX, I pointed out how Acura's graphics and animations are really next level. Whoever is working on these graphics and animations definitely deserves a raise. One of my personal favorite animations are the ones you get when you circle through the drive modes. These are really cool. Now, the Type S gets a model exclusive Sport Plus mode, so you know what that means. It gets its own animation, so let's check it out. To enter Sport Plus mode, you have to use the drive mode selector right here and go all the way to Sport, and then you have to turn and hold for about 1 second to enter Sport Plus because, you know, you're about to go insane and it just wants to make sure that you want to do that. And here is that animation for Sport Plus mode, which just looks like a more red version of Sport mode, but it's still really cool. I love these animations a lot. Next up, the Acura TLX Type S isn't ashamed to show off the fact that it's the coolest TLX with a bunch of Type S badges. Let's see how many I can find. Let's count them up. You obviously have one right there in the grille. That's number 1. And then you come around to the side here, number 2, and then you open the passenger door and you have one on the side sill. That's 3, and that's 4 right there on the floor mat. And then you obviously have one in the back right there. That's 5. And then you come around to the driver's side. That's 6. And then you open the driver's side door and you have one on the side sill here. That's 7. And the floor mat, that's 8. Both of the headrests get one, 9, and that's 10 right there. And then you have one on the steering wheel right there for a total of 11 Type S badges. That's how many I've found. That's pretty crazy. Either way, if you want a closer look at some of the other cool things about the new TLX, go check out my TLX A-Spec review. I've linked it in the description below. Now let's talk about the pricing. You can get into a new TLX for $37,500 for the base front-wheel drive model. The Type S right here comes standard with super handling all-wheel drive for a starting price tag of $52,300. And if you go for the Type S with the performance wheel and tire package, that will cost you $53,100. As tested here, you're looking at $54,625. But yeah, at that price tag, there aren't many options or packages that you can add on here since the TLX Type S essentially comes standard with everything, including the 10.2-inch display that houses the Acura infotainment system. You get standard navigation, and you also get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You get standard heated and ventilated front seats, so that's pretty cool. You also get the ELS Studio 3D sound system as standard, and it has 17 speakers, and it's one of the best in the industry. You also get a wireless charger right here, and you also get a bunch bunch of driver assist tech, including adaptive cruise control, so you won't need to be dropping a lot of money for additional packages like you otherwise would on rivals like the Audi S4, the BMW M340i, and the AMG C43. Let's talk horsepower and torque. Power comes from a 3-liter turbocharged V6 pumping out 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque, and that is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, Acura says that the TLX Type S will do 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. I've hit 4.7 and 4.8 seconds in my 2 runs. You have a top speed of 155 miles an hour. But yeah, those figures are pretty impressive. Now, fuel economy wise, you're working with 19 city and 25 highway. You have a 15.8 gallon tank capacity. I'm averaging, after a few days of driving, a total of 20 miles a gallon. I don't know if you can see that right there. 20 miles a gallon, there you go. All right, so how does it look? Pretty awesome in my opinion. It looks better than all other TLX models, obviously, and that's because there are some Type S exclusive touches here. The exclusive touches start off with a really sharp signature diamond pentagon grille, which Acura says adds 10% more airflow. And then you have these really sharp 20-inch shark gray wheels wrapped in high-performance Pirelli P0 summer tires, and that's what you get when you go for the wheel and tire performance package. You also get these really powerful Brembo front brakes with 4 piston calipers in red, and you also get these exclusive Type S quad exhaust pipes, which we heard at the beginning of this video, and they sound pretty awesome. Now, overall, the TLX Type S features a lot of black and dark elements, like on the front grille surround, the splitter, and the window moldings. You also have black on the spoiler and the rear diffuser. And then you have darkened headlamps. By the way, I love Acura's headlamp design quite a bit. And you also have darkened taillights, which look really cool. Interestingly enough, Acura decided not to go for a giant spoiler. They kept the same one that you see on the TLX A-Spec, which I get because this isn't a Honda Civic Type R. But yeah, if I'm being honest, I think the TLX Type S and the TLX itself is one of the best, if not the best looking amongst its competitors, which include the Audi S4, the Mercedes-AMG C43, and the BMW M340i xDrive. You can disagree with me, but this is definitely more stylish than all of those. Also, Acura has this really cool yellow gold color that's exclusive to the Type S called Tiger Eye Pearl. Unfortunately, I don't have it here in my test model. This one here is called Performance Red Pearl, and it's a $500 option. Cargo capacity wise, just like every other TLX, you can pop the trunk by hitting the button right here in the taillight, and it opens it up to 13.5 cubic feet. That's the same as every other TLX, so there you go. All right, so let's hop inside and check out the interior on the Type S. And if you've seen my TLX A-Spec review, it's pretty much similar to that. Quality-wise, Acura has really stepped it up to give you a more luxurious feel inside the cabin. You have a lot of soft touch and leather all around this cabin. Now, I've seen some people out there complain about the layout and design of everything in here, but I don't mind it at all. I actually like the feel and placement of everything around this cabin. It has a very driver-focused feel to it. The seats are very comfortable, and again, you do get heated and cooled seats as standard, but the Type S also gets 16-way power adjustable front seats with thigh extensions and side bolsters. By the way, the A-Spec and the Type S don't get a heated steering wheel. They do get this really cool flat bottom steering wheel, but if you want a heated steering wheel, you can't go for the Type S, you would have to go for the TLX Advance. Let's check out the rear legroom. You have 35 inches of space back here, just like every other TLX. I'm about 6 foot tall, that's my seating position. It's pretty good, it's not bad at all. Now, as I said earlier, the Acura TLX Type S comes standard with a lot of tech. You have a 10.2-inch display here that you control through the touchpad. If you want a deeper dive into the infotainment and the gauge cluster here, go check out my TLX A-Spec review. I go into great detail about how the whole system works, and I'll link that review in the description below. Now, before I give you my opinion on how it is to drive the TLX Type S, let me point out a few random things that I'll have to show all of you. You have 4 cup holders, 2 in the front. You have bottle holders on the doors too. Those don't count as cup holders. And then you have 2 in the back for the rear passengers right there. Here are what the keys look like to the Acura TLX Type S. And by the way, there's another Type S badge right there. So there's a total of 12 badges. Door open and close sound from the outside and from the inside. Pretty solid. When it comes to the charging game, you have a standard wireless charger right there. And then you have 2 USB ports right there. You don't have any USB-C ports, and rear passengers don't get any USB ports at all. And of course, let's hear the horn and indicator sound here on the 2021 Acura TLX Type S. Indicator first. Pretty JDM right there. Now for the horn sound. Pretty solid. I like it a lot. And now that I've given you a tour of the 2021 Acura TLX Type S, let's continue with the driving impressions and see how this stacks up against the competition. All right, let's get to it. Now, before we get back into the performance talk, let's talk comfort and how this thing is as a daily driver. It soaks up bumps and imperfections on the road pretty nicely, so if you just want to go for a comfortable drive and not go crazy, you can do that. You can still tap into some power under the hood, but it won't give you all the craziness that it has to offer. But if you want to go all out, pop it in Sport Plus mode, and that will quicken the shifts and the throttle response and the sound. Well, just listen to it. By the way, the only thing that I'm not really that crazy about is the 10-speed automatic transmission, but that's only when you're in the normal comfort or sport mode. But when you're in Sport Plus mode, you actually feel the tuning that Acura has done to this transmission. It has 30% faster upshifts, and you also have rev match downshifts. So if you go, 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 and you hit the brakes, that's awesome. This thing is the perfect daily sports sedan, but all that said, is it better than the Audi S4, the BMW M340i, and the AMG C43? Yes and no. To me, the BMW M340i is absolutely the best option in this segment. That car is perfect through and through. But I would highly consider buying this over the Audi S4 and the C43, and when it comes to the price tag, that's where the TLX Type S really shines. The Audi S4 will be the cheapest option in this segment, starting right under $50,000, and then you have the BMW M340i and the Mercedes-AMG C43, both which start right over $56,000. However, with all those German sedans, you still have to add on some options and packages to enjoy the luxury part of the experience, like ventilated seats. The Acura TLX Type S, on the other hand, comes standard with all the luxury that you'll need at a starting price tag of $52,300. Not to mention, this thing looks better than all of its competitors and will probably be more reliable long term. Yeah, I said it, fight me. Either way, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit like, make sure you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. My handle is @OmarDrives. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Peace. Pop this thing in Sport Plus mode. Gotta hold it and turn and go. That's real induction noise, not fake noise.